Hey everybody, it's Mr. Merchant. In this video, we're going to be going over prime factorization. So let's go ahead and get started. So let's have a little review first. Don't forget, prime numbers have only two factors, which include 1 and itself. So a common list of prime numbers: 2, 3, 5, 7. Some people want to put 9 next. 9 is not prime though. 9 is a composite. Alright, 9 is composite. It means that 9 has more than two factors, because you can multiply 1 times 9 to get 9, 3 times 3 to get 9. Alright, we also have 11, 13, 17, 19, and so on. But these are going to be the most common prime numbers that you're going to see. All right? And then, yeah, so we already kind of said composite. Composite has more than two factors, so that will be 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, and it goes on and on as well. All right? So now let's go ahead and do some examples of finding the prime factors. All right? So my favorite way to do it is using a factor tree, but we can also go over upside down division as well. But I'm going to start out using a factor tree. So that means we start with our composite number. Some of y'all like to box our composite numbers. And we're going to make branches off of that composite number. And off those branches are going to be two numbers that multiply to give us 52. All right? If you ever get stuck and you see that this number that we start out with is even, we always know that 2 is going to go into that number. Remember, we circle our prime numbers. That means that that branch is done. But what can you multiply by 2 to get 52? 26. 26 we know is composite, so we're going to box it, and that means that we keep going with our branches. What are two numbers that can multiply to give us 26? 2 and 13. Both of those are prime, so we're going to circle them. And those are our prime numbers. 2 times 2 times 13 gives us 52. And don't forget that we always write this using exponential form. 2 times 2 is 2 to the power of 2. Then we multiply that by 13. Which also gives us 52. And there are multiple ways that y'all can do this. You didn't have to start out with 2 and 26. You could have done 4 times 13. We know 13 is prime, but 4 is composite. So we break down the 4. 2 times 2 gives us 4. And then we have the same thing, 2 times 2 times 13. So it doesn't matter which way you start out. As long as you get the same answer, then you're good to go. All right? And then for those of you who like upside down division, I'm going to do an example with 52 as well. You could have started out with either of these numbers, but let's go ahead and start out with 2. Remember, whatever we're dividing on this side, it has to be prime, so we're going to circle it. All right? 52 divided by 2 is 26. Since 26 is composite, it's going to get its own little box. 26 divided by 2 gives us 13. Since we have a prime number right here as well, then we know that we're done. And same thing, 2 times 2 times 13. All right. I'm going to scoot this down and we can do another example. All right, we can do 44. All right, we're going to make our 2 branches. And if you're stuck, don't forget we can divide this by 2 because it's even. Or since we already know that 4 times 11 is 44, we could start out with that route as well. 4 times 11. We know 11 is prime, but 4 is composite, so we're going to keep going. 2 times 2 gives us 4, and then we're done. So that is 2 times 2 times 11 gives us 44. 2 times 2 gives us 2 to the power of 2. Then we bring down the 11 times 11, which also gives us 44. And like I said, there are multiple ways to do this. We could have started with 2 as well. 44 divided by 2 gives us 22, my bad. 2 is prime. 22 is composite, so we're going to keep going with this 22. 2 numbers that can multiply to give us 22. 2 times 11, those are both prime, so we're done. And we see it gives us the same answer. 2 times 2 times 11. And lastly, for our upside down division people, what number can we divide by that is prime? We could do 2, or you could do 11, but let's do 2. 44 divided by 2 gives us 22. That is composite, so it gets its own box. 22 divided by a prime number, you could do 2 or 11. Let's do 2. 22 divided by 2 gives us 11. And then we're done. Alright, and we'll do one more example. So if the question asks you to list the prime factorization, it's going to give you a number, and then you're going to have to write out the prime factorization in expanded form as well as in exponential form. So let's go ahead and do 24. Alright? So 24, I'm going to do a tree and then upside down division. But there are multiple different ways we could have started out with this. Y'all know I've said it a million times already. However your brain works it out, as long as you get the correct answer, then you're good. So let's see, my brain first thought of 4 and 6. 4 and 6, those are both composite, so we know we keep going. I'm going to draw branches off of both of those. And then we know that 2 times 2 gives us 4. Those are both prime. And then 2 times 3 gives us 6, and those are both prime. So we know, if we go back up here to list it out, we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. All right? And then this is expanded form. Expanded, because it's really long and expanded out, right? But then we're going to put it in exponential. Exponential, I hope I spelled that right. Alright, so what we're going to do is if we see more than 1 2, we're going to put it into exponential form. So we have 3 2's. I wrote out 2 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So that's 2 to the power of 3. And then we have 1 3 left over, so we're going to still multiply that by 3. And all of that is equal to 24. Both of these expressions are equal to 24. Alright? Don't forget, there are more than one way to do this. So you could have also done 2 times 12. Alright, 2 is prime, 12 isn't. We could have broken that down. 2 times 6. 2 is prime. And then broken down the 6, 2 and 3. That gave us the same exact answer. 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. And then upside down division, we could have done 4. Oh wait, no, we could not have done 4. We could not have done 4 because we need to have a prime number on the left side. So we could do 2 24 divided by 2 gives us 12. That'll go in its own box. A prime number that can be divided by 12, you could do 3 or 2. We could do 2. 12 divided by 2 is 6. Same thing, we could do 3 or 2. We could do 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then it gives us our prime numbers. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video. It was just a recap of what we've been doing in class. But I know that some people needed some help. So thank you so much and have a great day.